Good morning, my beautiful people. This is the host of the Endzone Club podcast, where we have conversations wrapped around things we know now, we wish we knew when we were younger. And that name is none other than Anthony Mitchell. Guys, we have been having conversations designed to spur you from walking in your potential to actually fulfilling your purpose. Before I get into today's podcast, I would like to encourage you guys, especially those of you who are new to the platform, to like, share, rate, subscribe to, to the content of today's podcast. I'm sorry, I got some word salad going on. But also, just to be a blessing to this platform by clicking on the bio and finding the donate button and simply giving even as much as $1. With that said, guys, it's been a minute since I've been blessed to be in your presence. It's an honor as a podcast host to have been going for 4 years strong. We've got well over 200 episodes. We're on all platforms all across the globe. Have had many wonderful, phenomenal special guests. We've had some people in the building that have rocked the house. But I will say, guys, just every opportunity. Man, let me try this word again. Butchered that. Oh man, I sliced that meat up very thinly there. I butchered it. I butchered it. Anyway, guys, any opportunity that I've had to come before you guys and just share with you about what's going on, not just in my life, but in the world around me and that of my family, it is a blessing. To our faithful listeners, to our supporters, to those all across the world that tune into our podcast every time we proceed with new content, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I know y'all are probably wondering what's been going on with me. We went from hosting 2 podcast episodes a week, which was every Monday and Thursday, to very sporadically here, um, just casually putting out content. And the purpose for that is life has been lifing. As many of you know, I am in the military, which always comes with a lot of obligations. I am actually fresh off of a military training to Hawaii, which we'll probably talk a little bit about, small sample size, in a minute. But now we're coming off. Well, actually, a lot of us are still dealing with Hurricane. Was it Helene? Has torn up parts of just of the eastern seacoast, going all the way through Tennessee. And, people have been tasked with supporting our fellow American and mankind. So if you see an opportunity in your own circle of influence to be a blessing to those who were impacted, whether it's donating water, whether it's 18 wheelers that are traveling with blankets and all sorts of other supplies, I challenge you to do the right thing and that support your fellow Americans. Now, I'll say the fabric of the American legacy is in times of endearing tragedy, in time when the nation's beckoning call has knocked on our doors of opportunity. We, as blue-blooded Americans, despite of all of the differences we've had, we've always answered the call. Personally, of note for me, just knowing that we're part of a tapestry of legacy where we've always been about helping our fellow people. That was one of the greatest calls or vocations I wanted to accept when joining the military. A lot of people look at military as being like this great facet of warmongering, of dominating other countries, of national security. But the reality is the mission of the American military is that there are a lot of humanitarian aid that we as people are afforded the opportunity of being able to operate with. So when these opportunities come open and you see tragedy striking various parts of America, what we call acts of God, natural disasters, I air quotes, I like to always take the opportunity to go out and support. A couple of years back, actually, I was on such a mission where in Florida we were embracing, and forgive me for getting the name of the hurricane, but you guys would probably remember this. It's been like 2 years. exactly to the date back in September. We loaded up, got in Humvees, went down. I actually had a viral video I posted from a gas station. We were gassing up Humvees, and I'm looking on social media, and there is so much discord going on about the hurricane, the lack of support, blaming President Biden. And I mean, it was crazy because a lot of people don't know how government works. It's like it's easy, if you're a certain political affiliation to blame who's ever in the head house, but sometimes you bystep that chain of command and knowing that it's your local government, it's your state government that dictates how quickly aid gets to you, because there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors. But I got a chance to see firsthand just how misinformation spreads. But most importantly, I wanted to take that moment that as people were hurting, as people were losing homes, as people were being flooded out, and it was just so much catastrophe. I wanted to just take that moment to share a positive message. And my message lasted like 10 seconds, and it was simply, hey, Florida, help is on the way. We're coming. And with that said, that small message reached over 150,000 people in a very short time period. I tell you, you never know the impact that you're going to have on people when you just say something simply small, something that's inspirational, something that is attaining to reaching their situation. When you speak directly into the heart of a matter that has personal value to people, you'll be surprised how that small gesture can go a long way. And from that, my TikTok blew up, gained a lot of friends overnight from all kind of political affiliations. And from that point, I realized that when we as Americans are in seasons, and I want to take this somewhere, but I feel like here, we, especially Christians, we have to be very, very careful not to lend our activities, our energies towards the divide. And you guys know what divide I'm talking about. I've been covering this very often, almost every time I get an opportunity to come on this podcast and speak. What's near and dear to my heart is I see a lot of people that have put politics before their affiliation with God. Now, I can't stress this enough, but the kingdom is a theocratic system. That means that God is neither Republican or Democrat. I know for us, there are certain agendas that each of us hold near to our heart. It's ethically, morally, all of these different things, what's right to us ethically and morally. That's what I was really trying to say. And from that, a lot of times we build a system of what we determine that is close to us. If it's abortion, if it's money, if it's power, if it's influence, if it's school or justice reform, if it's education, there are a lot of things that people hold dear. Some people hold immigration to be the greatest threat to American security. Some people hold the economy to be the greatest threat. There are a lot of people that are pro-life that feel like abortion is wrong. There are some people that feel like abortion is wrong, but in some cases, if a mother's life is being threatened, or if it may result in both the welfare of her and the child is at safety, then sometimes the medical decisions have to be made. It's crazy how on all these things there are a lot of us that sound alike, but we're so far apart just because we can't see through the lens of politics. We have begun to accept really bad behavior from some of our politicians just because they carry the umbrella of our name. There are some of us that are very intrinsically not buying whatever Kool-Aid is being thrown out. We're not drinking it, but we're doing the due diligence to actually listen to everyone, listen to the platforms, and make an informed decision. A prayerful decision is more important. But I encourage everybody to do the same. Don't accept something just because it's coming from your political party. That's the right of every Christian. with me saying that, I haven't kicked anybody, I haven't endorsed anybody, I haven't thrown anybody under the bus, I haven't lifted up one politician and thrown down another. But that's my spill on politics. I am so sick of what I'm hearing and seeing from people that these politicians don't know your name. They don't really care if you exist or not. And that's my take. But in the theocratic kingdom, we do have a God that says even the very hairs of your head are numbered. And he knows the hairs of your head. He knows the provision you need. There's so much that he knows about you. You would be dumbfounded if he were to take his bucket of knowledge and just give a drop to you to show you just how much he's actually concerned and how far he went and your intelligent design to make sure you have what you need. So with that said, regardless of who's president, who's not, he holds all time in his hands. Time and seasons, boundaries are his. When the days that kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, all that is in God's hands. The days of Greece were time, the times of Roman were time, the Ottoman Empire, the Medes and the Persians. If you ever study history, God had control over when every kingdom rose and fell. So your truest honor shouldn't be to man, but it should be to God. I can't stress that enough. But anyway, guys, I did want to talk a little bit about Hawaii, but then maybe that'll be another podcast because it's kind of hard to come back off the spill I just came off of and then try to make it about Hawaii. But Hawaii is beautiful, but the one thing I will say is a little expensive. If you ever get an opportunity though to go out and see Hawaii and see the various islands and island hop, please do so. Learn the culture of the people, learn the food, embrace as much of the Polynesian and Pacific Islander culture as you can. Learn phenomenal people, great people, warrior spirit and ethos. I love that about them. Great food, great culture, great music, beautiful scenery. Experience a lot of great hospitality. That's all I can say. Um, if you guys are following me on social media, I'll actually post some pictures if I can get this podcast to 1,000 views by the end of the day. I'll post some pictures and show you guys the beauties of Hawaii. But with that said, I'm out here picking up my little girl. She's getting ready to get in the vehicle with me. So I just wanted to say, hey guys, don't put politics first, but value the thoughts of the king. Be blessed.